got viruses.
Good morning, Sagittarius. A lot has gone on. Yeah, it's like my dog is like in my face, like what she's looking at me, I guess, waiting for instruction. So basically the vibe I'm getting, you and or others at this time are silent. It's definitely giving me silent vibes. I definitely feel like classes in session. I'm also hearing learn life. All right. Look at the moon. And it makes sense because piggybacking, because literally a lot has happened since I did Scorpio's reading. I think it's been about 2 days in between. I don't know why, but a lot has happened in that time frame, and it's like too much for me to even try to channel or whatever else. But the moral of the story is, like, some of you may be feeling frustration, or other people may be feeling frustration because there's like lessons being learned at this time, like classes in session, literally. There also too is like I'm kind of getting like an avoidance of these lessons as well. Some people are actively avoiding them, prolonging them, and then you have others who are just, you know, silent, like classes in session, like I'm here to take heed to whatever it is needs to be said. Now, the way this energy is going to be playing out, you're going to just have, you know, God works through people sometimes, in other ways, you know, God is very mysterious. So with that being said, you will be in situations, or you will find yourself in situations where you are learning, okay? It could also be humbling for some. It just depends on where your ego is. However, it's just kind of like the things that are going on around you there's a little bit of pressure only because you're learning something. So for me personally, like I personally learn when I get angry or frustrated. Like if I can get past that frustration and anger, I can learn through that. And then I'm gonna I have like a memory of an elephant. I can remember based off of how the situation or person or place made me feel. I always can remember based off of that. All right. So some of you, like I said, that pressure, you may be in a state, or you may notice that you learn under pressure, or you may just notice that you're under pressure a lot, or you may notice that people are just constantly pointing out your flaws or pointing out mistakes. And it doesn't matter how minuscule they are or how large they are, your shit is getting pointed out. And the reason for that is on a spiritual level, you're being taught. You know, it's like you are having, God is placing people in your life at this time. This is Sagittarius energy, so of course it's giving, we're going to be tumbling into Capricorn after yours, but the energy is already kind of playing out. It's almost like getting you ready and prepared to deal with 10th house energy, and so you need to kind of be on your P's and Q's. You have to learn, all right, so that you can then enter into this 10th house and, you know, go with the flow of life. This is essentially the vibe that I am getting. Some of you may be extremely frustrated at this time. Others of you love the challenge, and you're like, let's fucking go. Like, I'm up for the fucking challenge. Some of you may be going back and forth between these emotions, but understand this is a energy and a time in where you are learning. And this is, I'm not just saying this is learning time because it's Sagittarius. No, this is exactly the energy. I'm over here learning about fucking, what is it? Diet, nutrition. Okay. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just up watching. It's random. It's not random, but it's random. On a 3D level, it would appear as if it's random, but I feel called to watch it. All right. There's no one around, but I felt called. So this is spiritual teachers coming into play. And by spiritual teacher, your intuition is being activated at this time. You may be getting nudges, you know, or you just may be feeling like doing it. I know the last time I checked the astrology forecast, Venus was in Pisces. And so you are attracted to mystical and mysticism. All right. And things that kind of, I feel like Pisces energy deals with the occult as well. But because people are so busy into this, like la la land, they don't see it as the occult. They don't see it as taboo. They don't see it as a world between worlds. However, we did cover that with the mysticism with the Venus and Pisces, but that was the last time that I checked. And you guys know, or should know, that I do follow Vedic astrology. All right, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear shit about shit with tropical. I do not want to hear about it at all, and I don't want to hear about it. All right, y'all need to sit down and learn life about Vedic astrology. Anywho, but that's essentially what I'm getting on a channeled level. Let me just pull maybe 1 or 2 cards, and then we will take this into the extendo. Okay. Full extension or the full version of this reading will be on Patreon. My gifts are changing. I got a Life Path 5. So my shit He's always changing. Too cute. Also, some of you also too, yeah, you're right. Some of you also too may be feeling inclined to buy more spiritual things. I have not pulled any crow cards, all right, but I am seeing the crow card in my head. Visit a medical physical store. So some of you may be buying more spiritual things, whether that be books, tarot, oracle, you know, maybe listening to tarot or astrology, maybe reading more astrology books. I know I just purchased a new astrology book and 2 tarot decks, okay? Yeah, so some of you may be doing that as well. There also may be an overindulgence here. Some of you too, though, may be kind of getting your shit together, okay? Like kind of reining back on the overindulgence and kind of investing that energy into things like the occult or mysticism, things like that. What else? Some of you too may be kind of there's something about not talking, okay? Sagittarius, you guys also can be very, very blunt, very much so, and that shit can be hurting, you know? Y'all just are honest as fuck. Something about the delivery, but I don't like when people say, oh, it's not what you said, it's how you delivered it. Fuck you. Like, it is what it is. Like, fuck you. I hate when people say that shit. So I don't know if at this time it would be in your best interest to be quiet. And I started this whole reading off energetically. I was feeling the need to be quiet. Okay, sit down, be humble. I don't like someone saying be humble, but you get my point, and you know what the fuck I mean. What else for you? Yeah, some of you may be getting your shit together in regards to, like, because I know Sagittarius can deal with sweets and junk food, and you know, Sagittarius also can be they can be lazy depending on what the cause is. Like if it's mundane things, yeah, there's definitely going to be laziness there. So this also can be a situation that may be brought to your attention at this time, or other people are bringing it to your attention. It's just a whole lot of energy of bringing something to your attention. And the reason for that is because of the 9th house of law, philosophy, learning, okay? Like it's learning time. You need to learn some shit. All right, so you can go into that 10th house, okay, and perform and excel and exceed and get to the next level. All right, we do have the 9 of Wands here at the bottom of the deck, and I do see the Empress here reversed as well. And we have the Queen of Wands, though, here. Who is this, Sagittarius? Yeah. This Queen of Wands with this 9 of Wands energy, with this beetle. There's definitely, it's understandable here, but there's definitely, some of you are going to be triggered here, but that's why I feel like you need to kind of keep your shit together and just get through the process of whatever the learning is. Like, whatever this is, because I just feel like this Queen of Wands with this 9 of Wands is giving anger vibes, it's giving trigger vibes, it's giving, it's kind of giving defensive vibes. There's also insecurity here as well. There could also be fear, okay? All of these things that are kind of, I don't want to say backing this Queen of Wands, but it's definitely, this is essentially what is kind of holding this Queen of Wands up, if that makes sense. It's kind of giving me fight or flight vibes. Or this could also just be a hit to one's, I guess, ego. This could be a hit to one's ego, Sagittarius. Some of you may be feeling some type of way. But we do have the King of Swords coming out in the reverse. And again, this is Saturn, okay? This is also Aquarius. This, to me, is just like not wanting to do something someone else's way. Like wanting to do things your own fucking way. And that's essentially why we have to be taught certain things, all right? This is, you know, King of Swords to me is like, yeah, what is this? King of Wands is coming out reverse. Exactly. It's like not really trying to, you're not trying to, yeah, 9 of Wands. I'm sorry, 9 of Swords. And the Ace of Wands. So it's like this Queen of Wands with the 9 of Wands is trying to go their own way. But then over here, it's like you're not really trying to, it's, to me, it's given like a it's like you're just not interested in what anything or anyone has to say at this time. And that could be a little bit of a detriment if you are supposed to be learning. I see the Hangman here reversed with the Hierophant. So yeah, that could be a little bit of a detriment there. And then we also have the Death card coming out reversed with Anubis here. And then we have the Four of Wands. And the Ten of Swords. This to me is just kind of like, not really, it's kind of just like not, and it's interesting because I said God will use other people sometimes. This is kind of the energy where it's like, I don't know, I don't feel like you want to hear it from other people. Like, I don't know if there's another way. Like, and what I mean by that is like, what if you don't want to literally listen to someone speak about whatever this is? What if you want to read about it? Or what if you want to read, or what if you want to hear someone speak about it, but the only thing that you have available to understand or like learn it is by way of reading? Or there's something that is kind of like, you don't, it's like you want something here. We have the Hierophant, but it's like you're not in alignment on how to go about it. Again, essentially is the vibe that I'm getting here. So we'll, I'm going to look into this a bit more on Patreon, but this is essentially what I have for you, Sagittarius. I'm definitely getting a learn life type of vibe. Yeah, that makes sense. Scorpio had new connections and alliances, and then someone didn't want to respect you, so now they're going to respect this tower. That's the humbling effect there. And then now, Sagittarius, we have lessons and sessions. Okay, that's what I'm naming this title. So this doesn't have to be like what's happening to you. Your energy could just be being utilized at this time to teach lessons, okay? And it does make sense because there was energies that motherfuckers wasn't trying to respect you, and you already know how that shit go. When a motherfucker don't want to respect you, you're going to give them a reason to, or just leave them be. It's going to be either or. And it's looking like it's definitely giving me leave them be vibes, but it's also kind of giving me basically what I'm getting when I literally just heard is like when the student is ready to learn, the teacher will appear. That's really what I'm getting here. So bars. The bars. The fucking bars. So yeah, that's essentially the vibe that I'm getting. I'm also hearing Leo as well. Yeah, because I don't know, I heard Leo, and Leo was setting the stage to play games. And the chaotic energy was essentially starting to simmer down. So that kind of reminds me of like a kid who's done throwing a temper tantrum. And is ready to do what it is that you asked them to do, and that made them throw the temper tantrum. It's kind of one of those vibes where it's like you are either going to allow the baby to cry itself to sleep, or that baby's going to stop crying and throwing temper tantrums and doing what the fuck it is you asked them to do. And I'm saying children in this context because most people are grown-ass children. Most people want to play games. Most people set the stage to play games, to manipulate like children. Most people think shit is a sweet. Most people think, you know, shit is a game. It's a joke. Haha, hee hee. So there's that. And also the mind. I'm also getting Gemini as well. Gemini was dealing with mental maturity. So yeah, that makes a hell of a lot of sense here. Makes a hell of a lot of sense. So yeah, you're gonna have those children who are just gonna keep crying until they fall asleep because they just refuse to shut the fuck up and do what they're being asked. And then you have others who are gonna shut the fuck up and just do what they're being asked. So that's essentially what's going on. I don't know why I was repeating myself like that, but yeah. But we'll get into this more on Patreon. This is just part 1. Okay.